Here we go.
All right, whenever you're ready.
Now?
Go for it.
Here we go. All right, we're ready to go back. All right. Everybody go back in.
So thank you all for being here. This is really an historic day for us in this community. It's a historic day for Scott and his company. It's a great day for all of us. And I think that actually when we had the groundbreaking for this, it was just as hot as it is today. At least we are indoors now, so that's a plus. But again, thanks everyone for being here. The first person I want to bring up, so our economic development efforts and our marketing in Marshall County are funded exclusively by our utility partners partnering with us and by our private sector partners. And so we are so thankful. If you are either a member of the Kentucky Lake Economic Development Board or a member of Kentucky Lake Economic Development, can you raise your hand? All right, so we've got several board members here. Thank you guys for everything. Appreciate it. So I'm going to bring up our chairman, Jason Jones, with CFSB.
Thank you.
I didn't know I had to be up here this quick. Well, welcome to everyone. And as Josh said, yes, it was extremely hot when we did our groundbreaking out here originally. If we want to go back out and reenact that, we can do that. If y'all like, probably not. But it was about, I think, 6 years ago when the fiscal court started looking for a place to house an industrial complex, and this land was purchased, and then 4 years later, we have our first tenant with United Systems and Software. So we were very excited to get that rolling, get this place going out here. And as the Kentucky Lake Economic Development, we do know that we are blessed with many things right here in Marshall County. We have wonderful traffic infrastructure. We have our local schools. We have West Kentucky Community and Technical College. 30 miles to our north, we have Murray State University. 20 miles to our south. Healthcare facilities, diverse workforce. We just have the entire package here. So we ask that you and your company help us. Our job is to bring business and industry into Marshall County, and so from the Economic Development Council, we ask that you do help us. But today we're here mainly to celebrate one of our partners. We are very excited for United Systems and Software to be here. We know that this has been a long process for them. I know doing a move like this is huge, but they've got this wonderful space here. And it's wonderful to see all the people here with United Systems and Software. So at this time, we just want to, normally economic development, Josh and the board, we're trying to find new partners, but today we just want to stop for a minute and celebrate with them, with United Systems and Software, with their team, with the Waldrop family, and just say congratulations and thank you all. Appreciate it very much.
So we've got quite a few of the employees that we can see. If you're an employee with United Systems, can you raise your hand real quick? Okay, wow, so everybody take a look around. If you're an employee at United Systems and you went to Murray State University, can you raise your hand? If you're an employee with United Systems and went to Murray State University and you are not from Marshall County, will you raise your hand? Look around, guys. Welcome. Welcome. So something like this takes a lot of partners, and I want to bring up our Judge Executive, Kevin Neal, now to address you guys, to welcome Scott to the park. But I do want to say, Judge Neal really saw this vision with us as we developed this plan for Southwest One. So it's been a great ride. We're really excited about what the future holds. So Judge Neal, if you come up.
Absolutely. Thank you, Josh. Thanks for everyone being out here today. This is really a long overdue. I know we've been looking for this day for a long time. But I want to talk about the partnerships, everyone that has been involved to make today happen. First, about 6 years ago, I sat down with the economic director, Josh Tubbs, and I told him, I said, you need support. You need the tools to be successful. And we started on that journey. We realized, and everyone here knows, we benefited from the Calvert City complex since the 50s. But we really needed that mid-sized manufacturing type companies to come into our communities. And United actually, they're not so much manufacturing as they are technology, but they are that mid-sized company that we were looking for. And they were right here in our backyard. So we started out with identifying where the locations would best be in the county to make an industrial park. And the opportunity came to purchase this property. We jumped on it. We collaborated with CFSB to make that happen. And lo and behold, the negotiations started with United. And before we even got going, we had our first tenant interested in our industrial park, which happened to be an existing company. And I'm not going to steal Scott's thunder on his story, on his company's history, but it was right here in our backyard. So that even made it even better. But the partners that were involved, the fiscal court was 100% in from the beginning. We had to put an IDA board in place, so the Industrial Development Authority. And I'm not going to steal Dennis's thunder, he's the chair of that. But if you're on the IDA, if you'll just raise your hand and be recognized, these are citizens within our community that come from various backgrounds that sit on this board, and they actually manage the land. So Southwest One is managed by Dennis and his board, and we're very grateful for him and the board members for stepping up and being a part of this as well. PACRO, a lot of people don't know what PACRO is, but Paducah Area Reuse Organization, community organization out of Paducah, USEC, when it shut down, the impact that it would have with the loss of jobs in our region. So the asset sales from PACRO, those monies would be funneled in to the counties that would be greatly affected by those jobs that were lost. So Marshall County is one of those counties. I actually chaired PACRO for 3 years, and I committed the monies directly to Southwest One for economic development, so that we would have days like today for companies that have a grand opening. And so you really don't get to see that in the front pages as far as PACRO and how they have an impact in our communities, but they do. So PACRO is a big partner in this. Delta Regional Authority, we have some of our representatives, field reps here today. They have helped us secure monies to help us with projects to get Southwest One where it is today. And under Matt Bevan, we actually had discretionary funds, about $600,000 that were dedicated to Southwest One. So we've been very thankful and grateful for those partnerships. The state, the actual 6% that was committed, and I see our representatives in the back, Danny Carroll and Chris Freeland, they actually helped get the 6%. It was years that we've been trying to get that done, of the TDA monies committed specifically for economic development in rural communities like ours. So that 6%, that annual $153,000 goes a long way that the IDA gets to pay debt service to this property. So all these partners that are involved have made this what it is today for our community. We just saw how many students from Murray State and I'm sure West Kentucky Community College had that pipeline to a company like United right here in our backyard. So it's strategically located in a great location to recruit future employees for these companies. So I'm just thankful to be a part of it, and I'm glad that everyone acknowledges that and is here today to welcome United Solutions and Scott and his company. So I'm not going to take up all the time. I think, Dennis, you're next, but thank you for being here.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it. So
think Judge touched on it. We do have some special guests here with us today. Senator Danny Carroll in the back there. Representative Chris Freeland. I think he's somewhere. There he is, right next to him. Sorry, Chris. Thank you all. Thank you all for what you did with the TVA in lieu of legislation. This is what it's about, guys. This is what it's about. Our Marshall County Fiscal Court members. I think Commissioner Kevin Spraggs is somewhere back there. Okay. Commissioner Monty Collins had to take off for business, but thank you guys for your continued support of this vision. This is a fruitful vision, and I think that we're very blessed to be able to be here today, but to also see this develop in the future. Our city council members, Ann Riley's here. Do we have any more Benton City Council members here with us today? Okay, we got. Hey, Bud. Our utility partners, West Kentucky Rural Electric, Benton Electric Systems. Leslie's here. They're both partners of Kentucky Lake Economic Development. Also Jackson Purchase Energy as well. We're going to have I believe our state association president was coming in today. Matt Tackett, are you anywhere in the building? They were coming from the announcement. Henderson, if he's not, he's on his way, and I can. They get mixed up on their Eastern time out that way. I think I also saw Jason Lindley. Jason, where are you at? Hey, over here. Jason, thank you for being here. We're blessed to have great economic development colleagues in West Kentucky. Jason is in Graves County with Graves County Economic Development, and it says a lot to you here. Thank you very much for being here. So with that said, I do want to especially thank the Marshall County Industrial Development Authority. These are professionals in different sectors throughout our community in the private sector with all kinds of different skill sets, but they volunteer their time to be a part of Southwest Florida Industrial Park and the future of economic development in our community. And so I can't thank you enough. I know that it's been new. It's the first time we've done something to this extent, but it's been exciting and it's been fruitful. So thank you for volunteering your time. And with that, I will introduce our chairman of the Marshall County Industrial Development Authority, Mr. Dennis Smith.
Thanks, Josh. I'm going to put this up here where I can read my prepared notes that I did as soon as I walked in the door when Josh said, hey Dennis, you need to introduce Scott. Okay, so I will do that. So I too want to thank all the partners that were involved in this. The City of Benton and Marshall County Fiscal Court work together hand in hand on this. We've got lots of collaboration. The turning lanes, the Southwest 1 Boulevard, the sewer and water, all those things could not have happened without people working hand in hand. So I want to you may read some things or hear some things that aren't the most positive, but I'm telling you, when the rubber hits the road, these two groups do what they need to do for economic development in Marshall County. So I want to just say that publicly, that I'm proud of both of them. So thank you, Fiscal Court and City of Benton. Also, on the utility partners, Benton Sewer and Water and West Kentucky Rural Electric, we couldn't have pulled Southwest 1 off without you guys. So I definitely want to say that. And I anticipate Benton Gas soon. We also have dual source internet, so AT&T and Muninet are going to be in this park, and possibly a third at some point. I'm going to hit some contractors out here. Jim Smith Contracting, they jumped on this road and did these turning lanes in the road in a hurry because we wanted to do it before school got back in session. And it was a bus tail project to get it done. And then lo and behold, if COVID didn't hit, and it wasn't as bus tail as we thought it was going to be. But they got it done. Johnson and Mathis Law Firm, especially Kip Mathis, he has given us lots of hours of his time and his knowledge in putting together the capital lease that has been put together for the United Systems and Software project. So I just want to kind of recognize him. And then Merco Mechanical for the sewer and water work, actually throwing this pipe in the ground and making this thing function in the manner that it functions, and to get it done while we're running parallel with building construction and be able to pull this off was a feat. And then also OHM advisors, we have the architects and some engineers from OHM. We have John Calhoun, please raise your hand. Matthew Edwards, an architect, and they brought a guest, and I'm sorry I forgot your name the first time I met you, but they are from Nashville, and they worked with United Systems on the front end of this job, and then ended up converting this to a design build that we could get the project going. And then also we have representatives from Markham Engineering and BFW Engineering. We have Bobby Dietz with BFW, and then Craig Guess, I think, kind of represents both firms. So thank you all for all the work that you all have done as well. Let's see. I want to talk about how this project may have gotten here. So Scott, if I say something wrong, I'm apologizing now. But we were looking at his early plans, kind of schematic in nature, and we were trying to figure out what the project would cost and where it would fit and how it could go. And had the drawing table setting out one day, and I got a visit from Judge Neal and Josh Tubbs about some industrial development authority business. So I kind of laid those plans out behind me with those elevations showing up. And they said, "Hey, what's that job on your drawing table?" I said, "Funny you guys ask. You guys really need to look at this, and I think this would be a great billboard for Southwest Wind if we could get all the stars to line up." So then Judge and Josh went to work on Scott and Brian, and lo and behold, a few months later, we didn't pull off a project here in Southwest Wind. And I will say, but for COVID, we would have had a second project going on in this park right now, if not completed. So we have a desirable location. We have the teams in place to do the things we need to do for economic development and to promote industry and jobs for our area. So I want to thank United Systems and Software for their investment in our community. And as Josh pointed around and singled out the Murray State and West Kentucky and in Marshall County and out of Marshall County, it's the human capital that we really need to invest in. Our roads and bridges and buildings are great, but without the human capital and people willing to invest their time and money into it, we're not going to have it. So I think United Systems and Software, especially Scott and Brian, but the entire team deserves a hand for investing in human capital in our area. Okay, so I've known Scott Walter since first grade. Maybe before. I knew his dad a little bit through some business. I knew his wife, Lori, through high school. And I met Brian, golly, I don't know how long ago. Probably at Hutchins one day, to tell you the truth, talking about golf or something. It wasn't a building or anything technology-wise. But Scott has always been a friend, always been one of the smartest guys in the room, and he's a thinker. And I think this project is a culmination of a lot of thought that's been put into place. And I watched Scott play baseball, watched him go through high school, lost a little contact with him there through the college years, even though we both ended up at Murray State. But proud of Scott, proud of his family, proud of Brian, proud of all of United Systems. And Scott, Walter, please come up here and take the podium and tell us about your project.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to say I appreciate. Let me raise this just a tad. Appreciate everyone coming out and taking part in this. It's really great to see each and every one of you, and I'm sure each of you support the community like we like to support the community, and that's why you're out here. And we certainly appreciate you coming. So I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible, and what we're going to do is, if I keep this brief, we're going to allow you for time for questions later, and I'll explain that in just a moment. But First of all, I want to say thank you to the many people who made this possible. OHM, I think they took the ideas that when they met with Brian and myself and came up with a good game plan as architects and put a good game plan together. I want to thank the Marshall County Judge Executive, IDA, the Josh and Kevin especially on helping to make different things happen. I know Dennis was very involved as well, and just all of those were really pushing to pull things together behind the scenes just to make this possible, to even build this building in the time that we did. And of course, Pinnacle, we've gone through COVID, which has been a very difficult time for everyone, but they managed to push through and make sure that things stayed on schedule as much as possible, and appreciate them and the city of Benton. They had to bring out services to this area, and so we appreciate that as well. As a brief introduction to United Systems, we were established in 1977. I don't know if anyone knew him or not, but Richard Carroll, he had a son, Richard Carroll Jr., I guess. I don't know if he goes by Jr. or not, but he started the company in 1977, and the first office was by the Carter Law Building on the square, and so that's where I first worked when I was in high school. And so in 1984, Victor, which is my dad, he had started up, I think it was the year before, computer services, and he just did maintenance and networking, that type of thing, whereas Richard was more software development and processing and things of that nature. So they merged, and that was the start of really what we, closer to what we have today in the structure of the company. So as Dennis had mentioned, it's the people capital that is the main thing, and we have currently we have 57 employees. When we started this project, we had about 40, low 40s, I think it's about 15, so we have about 15 more than what we started with. And so we were already at a point at the old building where we were, even pre-COVID, we were running shifts of people trying to let people work from home so that we could just make do. But so we, the 57 employees and all those that have come before have really has made this building possible, and really appreciate that. Just a little bit more about us. We actively work in 18 states, and we have about 35 million in annual revenue, and so we want to continue to grow, and that's what this building is for. We have enough room, so hopefully we can grow and add additional employees in this area. And it's very important for me personally that we expand for this area. As you might see here, 84% of our revenue actually comes outside of the state of Kentucky. And if you want to get right down to Marshall County, it's probably less than 1% comes out of Marshall County. So what we have money flowing in. So one of the things when I was a eighth grader that I always thought was fascinating, looking at imports and exports. And yes, I was a dork, and so I worked out all these theories and things in my mind. But so one of the things that I always thought about was we have import-export numbers for nations, but really localities have an import-export as well. So if you want a locality to succeed, not just the United States, but a locality, you'll want to have money coming in. Otherwise, what businesses you have, you're just circulating the same money. So it was even as a young person, it was important to me to maximize what effect we could have. And so by having headquarters here, we have local staff here, and we have local owners here. That means that money that we are able to generate by working in all these areas, we help bring in money for this area and have a more positive impact. And that's always been something important to me, and on a personal level. And hopefully we can, in this park, and get other people who are interested in doing similar things with bringing in headquarters, not just employees, but headquarters also, and owners also, and build up local people. And we should bring in outside people too. Don't get me wrong, but we need to support and try to bring in the best and where they're local, so that it maximizes that benefit. So what do we do? Well, we're more than a technology company. So in a nutshell, we help cities, utilities, and companies simplify and focus on the core business using better processes supported with technology and automation. So we have traditionally been a technology company, but we want to be more than that. And so what does that really mean? That sounds like a marketing jargon or something, right? So we want to have a different approach, a different mindset. And most IT people, for example, want to talk about these cool features and things like that. We want to talk about how do we get rid of features. And what that means is, for example, other vendors might talk about their bells and whistles, and for like delinquent tracking or something. And we want to talk about how can we get rid of something nobody wants. Nobody wants to have delinquent accounts, right? So our processes, we want to figure out processes and implement automation to help with those processes to get rid of delinquent accounts. So we want to stop people from calling mad about high water bills. So how can we do that? Well, we can use leak detection systems to monitor that, proactively notify the utility office and or the customer, so that they prevent a nasty call at the end of the month talking about, well, why is my water bill $1,000 when it's been like $50 before? So we want to prevent things. In the IT department, networking, why is my server crashing? Or we don't want to wait for a server to crash. We don't want to wait for ransomware to hit our company. So we're trying to get processes to think ahead. How can we get rid of that? We want to be proactive instead of reactive. And so we want to become more of a process company rather than a technology company. Technology is a tool, and as business owners, you don't want to spend your time on tools, right? You want to spend your time on your core business, and that's what we want to help you do. You should be not thinking about technology at all. You should just be talking about what you want to do, whatever that may be, selling services or selling goods or whatever. So that's a little bit about what we were and what we want to be. And if you want, I didn't want to get too much into the weeds on a lot of this because I know many of you, if you're like me, you can get, okay, when's this guy going to shut up? So what we worked out is we do have tours and refreshments available. And so the people who are giving tours, we need those right up here. I don't know where they are. And we've got a couple upstairs as well. So so raise your hands if you're giving tours. Okay, we got 4 people right here that's going to help give tours. So if you go around on these tours, you can ask questions about the building. You can ask questions about what we do if you have more interest about what we do, or you have more interest about specifics on the building. So we're not going to just throw out a bunch of stuff for you now, but you have the opportunity to ask questions, ask away. That's what they're there for. And so we will get into groups if you want to just find them. We also, if you want to just meander around, feel free to do that. We have refreshments upstairs in the break room as well. And so once you've done the tour or meandered around, you're welcome to come in this area or any other part of the area and just hang out or do whatever. But I did want to make sure that you understood that I'm not cutting this short because just to withhold information, but if you are truly interested in something, ask, okay? All right, so if you're interested in a tour, again, raise your hands. So get with one of these 4 people, and we'll take groups of probably about 6 to 8 or whatever we have. All right, I appreciate you each coming out, and if you do have any questions, see me or Brian, raise your hand. You can talk to Brian too. Brian or any of the United Systems people. So I appreciate you coming out today.
All right.